You're absolutely right to notice that there is a crossover. The shutdowns, the overwhelm, the hypervigilance, the emotional dysregulation, the need for control, the freeze response, the constant scanning the room for danger, even if the room is full of smiles. It does sound like CPTSD. It also sounds like autism, and sometimes, and often, it's both. Let me break it down. Because here is what we don't talk about enough. Autism in itself is not inherently traumatizing, but being autistic in a world that doesn't understand you, doesn't accommodate you, and actually often punishes you for the way that you are and your differences, that is traumatizing. And sometimes it's worse than that. And this is something that, again, is not spoke about enough, because autistic people aren't just misunderstood. They are often targeted. Stay with me on this. This isn't a jump. The reality is that being autistic can increase your risk of trauma. Autistic women are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience sexual abuse. Hear that? That is crazy statistics. Studies also show that 90% of autistic women report traumatic histories. Many have experienced gaslighting, exploitation, emotional abuse, things like being too sensitive, too trusting, or too intense. We are 7 times more likely to attempt suicides. They are high-masking individuals. And the world keeps asking us, why are you so anxious? Why do you shut down? Why are you always on edge? Because the world taught us that we are not safe. Here are some of the common reasons why we're vulnerable as autistic people. Because we take people at their word. Because we don't always see the red flags. We see maybe they're just having a bad day. Because we struggle to leave even harmful connections. If there's still like a pattern that we're trying to figure out and trying to understand about the other person, because we mask and we fawn until we disappear, and they like that, and then we also get rewarded for that, because predators recognise sensitivity and naivety as an opening, and we've spent our lives trying to prove that we're not difficult, because we assume other people are as honest as we are, we assume that other people are as well intentioned as we are, because we just want to be loved and safe and understood. So back to the question that you asked. Is it chronic post-traumatic stress or is it autism? Well, CPTSD is a response to harm. Autism is a way of being. It's a different neurological wiring in the brain. But when you're autistic in a world that harms difference, you usually end up with both. You get autistic burnout and trauma responses. You get executive dysfunction and emotional flashbacks. You get sensory overwhelm and nervous system shutdowns. And nobody sees the full picture because most professionals still need to put people in one box at a time for diagnostic purposes. I'd highly recommend looking at the book Invisible Women and the chronic and tenuous ways in which women in general get overlooked and not taken seriously or not considered at all in medical research or even in things like safety measures. It's a very, very long book, but I do recommend it. Things can only change when the world stops mistaking our pain for drama, our trauma as personality flaws, and our differences as deficits. That's where healing can truly begin. Not by fixing who we are, but finally understanding why we are hurt and creating a world that doesn't keep hurting us.